Good morning. Hang on. We're waiting on the other channel. There we go. All right. Good morning. How do you find your exam of truth? Guys, today is a little different and I'm a little excited about it because I actually had read something online and it was a beautiful story. And I needed to think about it for a minute, and so I started looking up scriptures, and I looked up iron sharpens irons, and that really wasn't cutting it for me. And we've talked about that before, but I didn't go with this. Um, and then when I reread it by the third time, I finally finally reread that there was actually scripture in the story. So it's an unknown author of this, and I love the thought, and I'm pretty sure I reposted on Facebook, but I wanted to go over it because it makes so much sense. So I pulled out the scripture so I could read it, and I'm going to tell you what the scripture is, and then I'm going to read the story. Okay, it is Malachi 3, 2 and 3. Malachi 3, 2 and 3. Okay, and the scripture says, but who can endure the day of his coming, and who can stand when he appears? For he is like a refiner's fire and like launderer's soap. He will sit as a refiner and a purifier of silver. He will purify the sons of Levi and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer the Lord an offering in righteousness. Now, if I just read that, I'd be like, what? So I looked down at what it says, and it's talking about the day of his coming refers to the Christ's second coming, when the Lord will judge sin and purify his people. Now I'm going to read this little story. It's short. I typed it big. It says, there was once a group of women studying the book of Malachi in the Old Testament. As they were studying chapter 3, they came across verse 3, which says, he will sit as a refiner and a purifier of silver. Okay, it's quoted. That's just a portion of it. But this verse had puzzled the women, as it would have me, and they wondered what this statement meant about the character and nature of God. One of the women who offered to find out about the process of refining silver and get back to the group at their next Bible study. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. That week, this woman called up a silversmith and made an appointment to watch him work. She didn't mention anything about the reason for her interest beyond her curiosity about the process of refining silver. As she watched the silverman, he held a piece of silver over the fire and let it heat up. He explained that in refining silver, one needed to hold the silver in the middle of the fire where the flames were the hottest as they burned away all impurities. The woman thought about God holding us in such a hot spot. Then she thought again about the verse that he sits as a refiner and a purifier of silver. She asked the silversmith if it was true that he had to sit in front of the fire the whole time the silver was being refined. The man answered yes, and explained that he not only had to sit holding the silver, but he had to keep his eyes on the silver the entire time it was in the fire. If the silver was left even for a moment too long in the flames, it would be damaged. The woman was silent for a moment. Then she asked the silversmith, how do you know when the silver is fully refined? He smiled at her and answered, oh, that's easy. When I see my image in it. If today you are feeling the heat of this world's fire, just remember that God is refining you, watching over you through the process, and he won't take his eyes off you until he can see his image in you. Isn't that beautiful? An author unknown. But I thought that was such a beautiful way of explaining how God watches us as a refiner and a purifier of silver. Back in those days, that's how they had to make their silver. That's how they did things. And if you aren't completely blessed knowing that God is our refiner and purifier, that he is standing there while we are in the flame, not taking his eyes off us even for a second until he sees his image in us. Guys, what a blessing. That is so amazing. And if you think God's not with you, you are wrong. Those flames don't feel as hot that we walk through daily when we know who our refiner is. That's all I've got for today. I just thought this was so beautiful. I've been on fire for the last few days, and today, this morning, I got up and I was praising him and I was worshiping him, and I was scrolling through Facebook. That's how I found this little letter here, or this story. And as I'm scrolling through Facebook, I kept finding things that were not of God. I mean, they were courses on how to get into your deeper sleep and know how to how to um, how to interpret your dreams so you can master your mind. And I thought, that is not of our Father. That is in no way, shape, or form from our Father. That's the world trying to manipulate God speaking to us into us being in control and mastering things. We need to be obedient. We need to be reading the word. We need to be praising our Father, because that is the only way, the truth, and the life. That's all I got for you today. Simple and easy, but that is just so beautiful. That really struck me. It's just so beautiful. I don't even know what else to say. I just thought it was amazing, and I wanted to share it with you all. Okay, so you all have a fantastic day. I love you so much. I've got a book signing festival this weekend that I'm going to do. So I've got a few things that I need to do to prepare for it. So I hope you all have an amazing day. Keep reaching for Jesus. Don't reach for the stars. Reach beyond the stars. Reach for the garment, the hem of the garment of the one who created us. I love you all. Bye bye.